Brian finished this one.
What is this?
2015 Denali. Pulled the motor out of it. It was smoking when it came in like crazy. Pulled the motor out. Dan installed the cam kit. We did a forged drop-in piston with it. And then Brian put the motor back together with the Whipple on it. We did a low-side fuel system. We did LT4 pump, LT4 injectors, flex kit. Went from this nasty looking badge on it with only 650 horsepower to now we'll be making a, let's just call it like 850, 900 horsepower. But good running car. I actually just drove it before lunch and it sounds sick for a Denali. And this is his daily driver. He has multiple vehicles. He has a 19 ZR1 GT500. This is just gonna be his daily. He literally just bought it. And I think with this nice badge, I don't know if it added the smoke to it or what, but it was smoking a lot out the exhaust, so we had to fix it. Like usual. Mr. Faraday can't be driving around with no HPE vehicle, especially in the streets of Texas. All right, let's go have some fun. All right, take this off for the test drive. We're in a 2015 GMC Denali, 24,000 miles on the odometer. Car came to us previously built with a Whipple and headers on it. The engine was smoking pretty good out the exhaust. Cylinder head had an issue, and I think one of the pistons had a little issue with them. So we pulled it apart, put our drop-in forged piston in it, checked out the rods, rod bearings, cam bearings, pretty much everything in the short block to make sure it's okay. Obviously the cylinder bores to make sure they were fine, to just be able to put a drop-in piston in it without having to bump a hone through it to go anything larger like 5 or 10 over. But everything looked good in it, so it's essentially a pretty simple, straightforward build with the engine out. Obviously putting the forged piston in it, we went ahead and put our cam kit in it. So custom camshaft, obviously new lifters, double valve spring kit, hardened push rods, all the usual stuff that comes with our, I think it's like our, what do we call it, a 750 or 800 horsepower supercharged like C7 package. Very similar to what it is in these trucks, whether it's an Escalade or a Denali or a Tahoe. And this one in particular wanted to go with 93 and E85. So we also upgraded to an LT4 mechanical fuel pump, LT4 injectors, as well as we built a custom low side fuel system for it to keep the low pressure happy during wide open throttle conditions. The way the car sits right now, we finished, it was right over 600 rear wheel horsepower on 93 octane, 660 or 670 rear wheel horsepower on E85, and that is only with 8 pounds of boost. We left the pulley combination alone. I want to keep it nice and safe. The customer is from Houston, so I'm gonna let him take it, drive it, try to put, you know, a good 1,000, maybe 1,500 miles, maybe even 2,000 miles on it, just to kind of break everything in, make sure it's good. Brings it back for a basic oil change. We'll cut the oil filter open, make sure we don't see anything alarming when it comes to metal shavings and stuff in the oil filter. And at that time, we'll decide and probably turn the boost up a little bit, go from 8 to probably 10, between 10 and 12 pounds. I don't like to go too much more than that on 93 octane in these heavy vehicles. Under a load, these things at high speeds, you know, they are prone to detonate or want to detonate because they're so heavy, so we have to tune accordingly for them. And that's why I like trying to keep my boost levels low and making the horsepower with the E85. But again, this is a car that will be a daily driver. Customer has multiple vehicles. I think he has a 19 ZR1 for a weekend toy, as well as a GT500. So the camshaft we put it in is actually a good size cam. It does idle pretty smooth. We got to run pretty smooth at idle. I didn't want it to shake too bad at idle. The customer did want to hear the camshaft loping really hard at idle, so again, we did go with a larger camshaft than what we would normally do in some of the Escalades and Tahoes and SUVs, just because most people want them to idle super smooth. But we kind of knocked it out of the park. We did get the best of both worlds. This thing in park and neutral, cam's really good. In drive at a stoplight, it feels nice and smooth. So I drove it yesterday to lunch. Everything's been really good with it. I'm gonna try and make a few little baby pulls just to check shift points one more time before the customer picks it up. And it is late in the day, over 90 degrees, so conditions aren't the greatest. Hopefully I can find enough room in Mexico to make at least a little 1/8 mile pull if I can. And again, just checking all the shift points before we give it to him. I think it's actually customer's birthday today or tomorrow, so it'd be a good birthday gift to give him a nice daily driver back. All right, let's see if we can do a quick little 1/8 mile pull. 2,000 RPMs. Good. 11-second pass out of a daily driver. Not too shabby. That was fun. Man, it spun the tires too. I don't know if y'all saw it. I was having to hold on to the steering wheel there. But yeah, that's pretty sick. 11.9 at 128 miles an hour. And a big SUV, and again, this is only at 8 pounds of boost. Again, we keep it like this also for intake air temp reasons. We want to keep it nice and safe. This customer does, like I said, he has other vehicles, so he is a gearhead. He is going to be doing what we just did to it over and over again, and I want it to be reliable for him. So super cool little package. And again, 11-second truck. It's a daily driver. He can bring it back in a month. When we change the oil, we can turn the boost up on this thing, and really there's no reason why we can't get this thing to run low 11s pretty easily with everything that we've already got done to it just from turning the boost up. But I'm gonna pull over, check that log out, and everything looks good, get it back to the shop, get it cleaned off one more time, and have the customer come get it. Like I said, I think it is his birthday today or tomorrow, and hopefully he'll be happy with it. I think, I know I will be. This thing was fun to drive. And again, sitting here at idle, guys, in drive, big camshaft, but you can see I'm not rocking back and forth. If you go to put it in neutral and park, again, y'all can't hear the exhaust from outside, but I can see the timing swinging, and you can hear it camming a lot more in park or neutral. But again, in drive, super smooth vehicle. And again, this is something that you can hop in and drive from Texas to California to New York and pack it with the family and enjoy yourself on 93 octane. And then if you know you're gonna go play with your buddies or go to the track, put E85 in it and gain some more horsepower and have some fun. But yeah, I'm heading back to the shop. I'll look that over and we're done. Ah! Damn seatbelt. All right, so just looked over the log. Jason, you can add this to the video or not. Shift points are fantastic. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 to 4, and I went right into 4th and 5th, and I like let out right as we're going through the quarter-mile trap, and I think I said the wrong mile an hour. It went 1190 at 118 miles an hour. I don't know what I said. I think I said 120 something. It was wrong on the draggy. The mile an hour wasn't right the first time I looked at it, but looking back and looking at the data, about 118 miles an hour looks more accurate, especially because it looks like I did let off right before. But again, super sick. It went, do we have 8th mile? Yeah, 770 at 94 miles an hour. So that makes sense. 183 60 foot. I wish I had a 0 to 60, but I didn't get it. But yeah, it'd be nice to bring it back, like I said, turn it up, more boost, and have this thing be a low 11-second truck pretty easy at over 125 miles an hour, pretty nice and safe.